Hello, everyone. It's really nice to be here again. Please sorry my English. I'm not perfect speaker in English. I have a question. How much people using AI? Can you please raise your hand? It's look like maybe 50%. I have small presentation about AI because I think this is really interesting to have AI inside of Zabbix. We tried to find some possibilities 1 year ago, but before I begin, I need to say something about our company. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, about our company. What does exactly mean InitMax? We actually start as an open source company. We mainly focus on Zabbix, Wazoo, and Postgres. It perfectly makes sense in our company to have Zabbix because we are using also Postgres. We are using Postgres because we are using Zabbix. And Wazoo is different solution for monitoring. And we have something like nice ecosystem when Zabbix actually using Wazoo and Wazoo is using Zabbix. It's really nice to work all together. And actually Wazoo have some AIs. And we think, okay, it's time to enjoy this game also with Zabbix. And this is a reason why we are using these three products. We are mainly focused on creating custom widgets, modules, some Zabbix customization, tech supports, certified trainings. We are also trying to do everything for our clients. If our clients say, hey, I want to have something, we are trying to find some way how to deliver this. About our main goals in our company is honestly, if we are not be able to do something, we say, okay, we are not be able to do it. This is like our first ultimate goal in our company. Second one is vigilance. We are trying to do it as best as possible in our way. This is second goal in our companies. And also, we need to know our product as much as possible. This is why we have training license and all our, you can say employees, friends, you can call it how you say, or how you want. It's actually delegated to know everything about these products. And this is our standard. Okay, my sign, because I am the guy who is proving it. We have customers all around the globe. We're mainly focusing right now outside, a little bit go outside of the Czech Republic. We have one customer, you can find, we have something like a secret place on this planet. If you check correctly slides, you can find one place when it's actually living only 10,000 people. If you find this place, you can actually join our vote and you can tell me, okay, I found this place. This is our secret a little bit. And right now, we need to talk something about AI, finally. How we start actually. Our journey start with some implementation 1 year ago. You probably remember our presentation when Alois have presentation about some JavaScripts. And last slide is about JGPT widget. This is our first step where we are trying, okay, it's time maybe to show you what we can do with AI. And for us, it's something like internally, can we actually use some AI abilities inside of the Zabbix? In this time, it was completely dummy widget, no something like smart interaction. You simple chat with the JGPT. We're a little bit moving forward and we say, okay, it's work. How much we can do with the Zabbix. And we are trying to find some steps. We are actually find 4 different steps what we can do inside of the Zabbix. We start to find which hardware we need to use, if we want to buy some hardware, yes or no. And we start to pay money. The first money what we spent is for iMac Studio. And the reason for it, we want to have something at our DC, and we don't want to pay for another place in our rack, because it's really expensive. And as you know, AI need to have a lot of memory, a lot of RAM, and really powerful graphics cards. This is why we pay for most powerful hardware what we are able to buy. And it's actually working fine, but I tell you the story later. Sorry, let's skip one slide. Yeah. Another step is we want to play with some graphics cards which is delivered only for AI. And we have some opportunities because of my friend. He said, hey, I have old NVIDIA RTX A6000. And he said, okay, it's perfectly fine working for us. And we start to play with these graphic cards. We figure out really, really fast, one card is not enough because of VRAM. These actually graphic cards have some limitation with the memory. And if you want to use large projects, you need a lot of cards, lot of cards. And last step is we can play with the JGPT because we already know JGPT, how it works. And we say, okay, JGPT is really, really cool stuff. And in the time when we actually finish some our research, what is work, what is not work, JGPT introduced version 4. And we say, okay, version 4 have memorizing. This is really important for you. And memorizing is great for Zabbix because I show you some use case based on this. This is some numbers, how actually hardware looks, and also why we make decision mainly to stay with JGPT right now. The reason is money. If you want to have really nice AIs, you need to buy 4 cards. A6000 costs something like 5K euros. If you want to have really good cards, you need to pay something like 20K. Not official ChatGPT numbers is ChatGPT use 5,000 these cards on the beginnings for learning. First ChatGPT, not ChatGPT 3, but ChatGPT 1. Right now, ChatGPT using cards which is costing 25K, and ChatGPT have between 30 to 40K of these cards. This is enormous numbers. We actually count how much it actually cost, and this is billions actually. Weakness of AI. The AI is very powerful, but you need to know is also weak in some spots. The main problem is the performance. If you are using your AI on your environment, you probably hit as soon as possible. With 1 user, everything works fine. Try with 10 users. When you have more than one user, you figure out, okay, it's not working. Because you are waiting for something. ChatGPT is fine, you have time, you can wait. But in the real environment, if you, for example, want to do correlation or something like that, you need to have information in seconds, not in minutes. It's specific for hardware. In the large, for example, LLM environments, you need to have more cards, more cards, more cards. You are paying for cards, energy, and you also need to have these cards placed in some DCs or something like that. If data is changed, you have nice model, and your data is changed, or it's changing really, really fast, you have problem, because you need to retrain your AI. And from our measurements, retraining is 5 times expensive than simple requesting your AI. This is the decision why we say, okay, we are not paying hardware for hardware anymore. We have some our lab, we can test it in our lab, but it's not used for production, because this is the main reason why we actually switched to JGPT. The best, something like performance for the money is GPT-4o Mini. We have really good results with this one. And all our next use cases is actually using this one. Which AI model we already tested? We start with the LLM model, LSM model. This model is used mainly for event correlation. This model looks like really, really nice. It's called long short-term memory. The problem with AI, if you have data and you still have new data, you have some memory limitation. And this is big issue. This is why we use long short-term memory. This model we are using for event correlation. I think this is the best one. If you check how much models you can find, you find 10,000 models. Every company have own models, but this one, it looks like it's work fine for Zabbix. It's not work fine for different use cases what we try, but for Zabbix, it's work fine. The second one is LLM. This is our something like 90% of usage is mainly LLM, and we are using JGPT. Yesterday, I have talked with Jane, and he told me, hey, LLM, JGPT for all. Yeah, we also use JGPT for all, but the problem is, if you find a really great model, have really good results for you, try different languages. English is fine. If you go to the French, then Czech, Slovakia language, everything is messed up. He's starting to responding with Spain for unknown reason. This is a problem right now. We still focus more in future. We want to have something completely open source and give you everything for free. But right now, it's not possible. You still need to pay for JGPT in our use cases. The last model is support vector machine. This is our second option for event correlation. It's look fine. You have some benefits between the long, short-term memories model, but yeah, it's work fine. The first one is JGPT widget. We make some improvements for JGPT widget, and right now, he's be able just talk with you about your topics. You can use it as him as some kind of assistant. Hey, how can set up proxy and blah, 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 blah. But this is not enough. Right now, we a little bit change him to make him like configuration assistant. He still respect your permissions. You have permission, for example, creating host, creating proxy, etc. And he's connected directly to your Zabbix. It's Zabbix widget. You don't need to change any code, just use the widget and everything is for fine. But you need to have two tokens. One is automatically generated for your user, and one is for JGPT. And here is an example how it's actually look. I know the screen is a little bit small, but the main reason is I give him a question. What is Zabbix? And he answering, hey, Zabbix is best open source on this planet, blah, blah, blah. Alexey Vladyshev is CEO, blah, 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 blah. And you can tell me, hey, how I can install Zabbix? And he give you, okay, here's some example how you can install Zabbix. It's work fine, but you can do more. You can actually do consulting. You can do this widget for reading your configuration. Hey, how much host I have? How much host I have in this group? How much user I have in my Zabbix, if you have permission for it. And the last things, you can use them for helping with creating new configuration. You have button for importing file. For example, it's really helpful for using it in Nagios. For example, you have some configuration file for Nagios. Hey, this is my host. You use this file, give this file to this JGPT widget, and I say, okay, I want to create the same host in my Zabbix environment. This host have maybe some description, and try to use this description as a something like solution for, okay, here's a Windows host, probably he want to have Windows templates or something like that. I have first demo, and this demo is based about my request. When I'm trying to say, okay, please create five hosts based on biggest cities in US, and please try to create this host in my Zabbix. This is his example. Okay, I want to create these 5 hosts. You can see, okay, I'm completely fine. Okay, here's the host, here's the location and latitude, and we are using this information inside of your inventory. And we say, okay, I agree. It looks fine. Yes, please. Sorry. I'm not be able to go back, but he gave me a response, and he say, okay, host is created, here is a host ID. This is a proof he created hosts. It's worked fine, no big deal with it. But we still want to go a little bit forward, and we are using another example for importing hosts via CSV file. It's a small CSV file, but we a little bit trick this one, because I create a fake file, and I give him one fake columns when I say host ID. He read this, and you can see on first host, he don't read this information. On second host, he have this information. On first host, you don't see this information. You don't see column for host ID. On second host, you can see here have host ID. And yeah, he definitely give you question, hey, you are fine with it? And I say, okay, I think I'm fine with it. Please create this host for me. And he say, okay, Here's your host, and you can see first host have right now host ID. I fake this one because I know how actually next host ID it be. This is the reason why I deleted this on first host, but the host ID is here because he create everything for me. And this is it actually. You can see 5 hosts is here. It's really simple task. Next topic. We are done with JGPT widget. It's AI assistant. It's 6 months ago, I have dinner with Alexei, and I give him a question about, hey, what do you think about AI? And say, not too much, but I think this use case would be really useful. But I was quiet, because we already have this widget in our minds. It's not developed, but Tomas, he already know we want and need this widget. What this widget, maybe more than a widget, it's module, what he can do for you. He actually collect information from your page monitoring problems, and each problem have one small button, it's called AI Assistant. And for example, you are a guy on level 1 and you are reading a lot of information and you are trying to move a little bit forward. What you can do, you can actually click on this button and you can say, okay, Zabbix give you description what he think about that. He load information from items, triggers, and a lot of different information from the host. He also using the latest data, and he just give you briefly description what he mean. On second part, he give you information about how to solve this. Clear explanation. He's giving you a suggestion for next steps, and you can ask him for more information. I don't understand. What does it mean? CPU is too high. What does it mean? Here's an example of it. In our Zabbix, starting slowly, in our Zabbix, you have a lot of problems, and we are focusing on the first one. And we can say, okay, we want to click on this button. What's happened? We have new pop-up, and he automatically give you everything what he know about this item. The first step is interpretation of your problem. Okay, it looks like you have problem with your memory. The second part is potential impact. Your application have probably problems or something like that. Another part, how you can verify if it's correct or not. You need to verify your thresholds, you need to go on your machine and check if everything is working fine. And last step is additional information needed. And you can ask him, okay, I want to need more information or something like that. This is how he actually look. Here is an example. I need to have more information what this problem is mean. I'm writing really slowly. Okay, and here's the explanation. You can see all this information is gathered from Zabbix. For example, item ID, trigger ID, everything, it's look like this. I think this is pretty useful. Another part is event correlation, but here we spent a lot of time. The reason for it, it's not too easy to use AI. Hey, do you think this is root case and this is symptoms? He don't know. The reason why he don't know, he need to have more information. And one main information, he need to know something about your topology. If you have more than 60%, somehow you are be able to tell this AI, your topology looks like this, you are perfectly fine. What we solve this solution, I show a little bit later. And of course, here is a small delay, because he need to grab your information. Okay, we have new events. How I can correlate these events? Topology information, different triggers, what is actually happening in the last couple of events. If it's root case, yes, no. This is a small problem, but delay is in a couple of seconds. Not minutes, but a couple of seconds. It's from our point of perspective, it's better solution for event correlation right now, what we have. We have some simple, only topology correlations, but it's not work as we expected in 100%, because some use cases is slightly different. Somebody forgot to add some topology information, and you are actually done. Everything is done via API. We are using API of Zabbix, and we are using API of JGPT. If these two APIs actually changing information between, you can have something what is really working. But back to the topology, the perfect example, how you can have your topology done really, really fast, it's really simple. If you have smart switch, every switch have ports. And on your ARP table, you know your switch have some MAC addresses. And this MAC addresses is bonded in some specific ports. For example, we have MAC 2, MAC 3, and MAC 4. And it looks like this. Because we are already monitoring these machines, and we already know this machine have these MAC addresses. We know this switch, he see these MAC addresses on this port, and we have information. This port actually handled 3 devices. What happens when this port is going down? We already know this port is down. This port have 3 devices. It means if we have 3 devices down, it's actually not the main root case. Our root case is switch port is down. Something is broken. How it's actually work? We have topology information. Our port is down. We are reading some data from Zabbix and giving this data to the AI. And after that, we say it's correlation data or it's not correlation data. And AI making the decision, OK, it's time to call API and make correlation inside of the Zabbix. He actually read additional information. We are using many tags on our hosts for making who is parent, who is child, or something like that. But we need to read more information. Host group, assigned templates, tags. Sometimes you have devices which is not be able to correlate, for example, load balancer. But AI is smart enough, I have slides about that. He's be able to tell you, OK, I think this is some kind of correlation. We are using something what is completely new, and this is the information from Zabbix 6.4. From 6.4, you are be able to use root case and symptoms. This is perfect example how you can use it. Right now, you have only one limitation. You have one root case and many symptoms, but you are not be able to have multiple levels. This is our actually main problem, what we already have right now. How it's actually look problem correlation if everything is work. This is your basic use case for your Zabbix. You don't have something like no correlation at all, but you already have some information, OK, here is a parent switch, here is a parent port. And you see our switch, which is same like a parent, it's already down. And we already have here information, this is a port. And if you see here, the port is same. It means our port is actually done. And this is how it looks after correlation. You have only main root case, and all these 3 is correlated as a symptoms only. What next you need to do? Of course, you don't want to have notification for all 4 problems. You are be able to use correlation for it. And in Zabbix, you have really nice button here, pause operation for symptoms. And as I say, you need to delay first step. You need to say, OK, I have 1 minute for doing all the correlation. 1 minute is right now minimum. It's only limitation on Zabbix side. 1 minute is minimum for operations. This is why we have first step after 1 minute. Yeah, here is a delay, but in front end, you are be able to see the problem early. But your notification arrive after 1 minute. This is how it's actually look new button. And this is fully important button for us, because this is all the magic is happening here. If I just say, what did JGPT think about some correlation? You can actually test it in your environment. Just copy-paste 2 of your problems. You can just copy host, problem, duration, for example, and this is it. And put this information in JGPT and ask him, what do you think about this problem? It's a correlation, yes or not? Here is our problem, and you can see here, he giving you some explanation, and he say, hey, your load balancer 1 is down, and load balancer 2 is master right now. It means load balancer 1, when he is down, it's your main root case. If load balancer 2 is master right now, it's not your main issue, it's a symptom only. And this is what actually AI doing for you. It's very simple test, and you can do it if you want in your environment. It's really, really easy. Last topic, it's actually because we are lazy. A lot of our customers have problem with regular expression, JavaScript, a lot of stuff about some duct tape, etc. And a lot of people don't want to use preprocessing properly. And we say, okay. And we actually start to use a copy-paste in JGPT because we don't have too much time and we just want to create some scripts really, really fast. And we say, I don't like the copy-pasting everything. I just copy-paste something, click on test button. Oh, it's not working because something is not right. And what we do, it's a module. This module you can find on item level. You can use it, get value to grab information for your measurement and give this measurement to your AI. And AI read this information and he asks you, what do you want with this data? He actually gives you suggestion what you can do, and you still have option. Yeah, I'm agree, yes, no. And you can say actually yes, and if you hit yes button, you have small button, add this preprocessing steps. And if you leave this window, all your preprocessing steps is already prepared. You can click on test button, and you can see if it's work for you. It's really, really easy. This is how he looks like. You see small button, preprocessing assistance, and here, it's actually some of your value. You see get value, here I have value 1, and here is value 1. Here is really, really simple, no coding required. If you are completely beginner in your Zabbix, you will be able to use it for you. Step-by-step guidance. He tried to explain you what he is doing. And also one click to set up everything. First example, don't worry, I'll be super fast, don't worry. First example is really simple. We have a host name, it's called Zabbix Summit and something, and he's really, 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 really long. It's really not short. And what I want to do, I want to add preprocessing for it. I use the get value to get my data from my host. You can see when I hit get value, everything is filled inside of the Zabbix. Here is Zabbix _summit _2024 .initmax.cz. And I don't want to have initmax.cz. Because why? I already know my domain. This is why I'm writing him, okay, I'm not happy with this, and please create some preprocessing steps which is working for me. He's doing his job. And this is how it's actually look. You can see he's trying to change also my item from numeric to characters. And here is the preprocessing step 1, regular expression. And second one is discard unchanged with hit beat. Because why? And here I simply write yes. And he creates everything for me. It's a little bit slow. Couple of seconds, you need to just finish everything. And after that, you have here, everything is completed. You can use add preprocessing button now. And when you hit this button, oh, I don't know why, but I'm constantly skipping the last slides. You can see everything here. I hope on this second use case, you see everything. Okay, here, transfer JSON. It's slightly complicated. We have some JSON file. We have the JSON file. It's containing duplications. It's containing some services status. It's look something like this. You can see right now we have type numeric. And as you know, JSON is text. We hit preprocessing. And again, we can use get value. If you don't have passive checks, you can use manual button. Don't worry. And here is our data. And what we want to do is, hey, clear all duplications, change this file for low-level discovery, and discount and change with the hit beat. These 3 steps we want to do. And he's starting to do his job. You can see he's preparing JavaScript for you, because he thinks this is the best one. And what you can see here, he's changing from numeric to text. This is the first things what he's actually doing. And here is the steps. First steps is he's doing JavaScript, deleting the duplication and changing global discovery. And last step is discard unchanged with heatbeats. Again, you're fine with it. You can say, okay, yes. He's doing his job. Again, add processing button. And here is your steps. You can see we have two steps. One is JavaScript, and one is discard unchanged. You can click test button. You can get value from your host, and click get value. Here is our JavaScript in raw form. And you can see we have two services, which is actually duplicated. And we can test the steps, and you can see it's working. Right now, it's all discovery. We are discarding unchanged, and it's worked perfectly fine. If you check your data, you have only 4 services, not 5, because he already discarded the services which is in duplication. And again, get value and test, you can see discarding. Your data is discarded. Pink, and this is it. You can just save your save by update, and it's done. I'm finishing. Don't worry, I'm finishing. Of course, every year we bring something new. We bring completely new eShop. You can find this eShop on initmax.com. Some of our widget is already there, but some of widget is not there. We try to use this eShop as a free and paid form. Some widget is already free and it's already there, and some widget it's here for some money, and some widget is still not there. A lot of widget what you see on presentation, we still not polished completely because we need to finish documentation, but the code is already finished. Of course, we update our Git repository. We add some, maybe 5 templates or something like that, and also we add new widgets. We prepare a completely new demo. If you go, you can visit our bot. We have completely new demo with my home monitoring. The reason why we have more home monitoring is Alexei, of course, because he brings Raspberry from home. And we have monitoring of his home. No, I'm kidding. We have monitoring of my home and my colleague home. And we also bring some gift. If you want, you can visit our bot, and we have something for you. Important links. Here is URL for our eShop. Here is URL for our Git. And last URL is about the demo Zabbix. You can check these links, and you can check what we have for you. We also have 20% discount for everyone who is actually watching this stream. And we have 20% discount for our eShop. Here is the code. You can use it how many times you want. And don't worry, this is it. Sorry, I was a little bit late. Okay.